Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. I of course am just another Heavy Metal Maniac, and today I am doing a response video to Merciful Metal. He just posted a video earlier today about 10 albums where the opening track, the first track, is the best song on the album. I was actually thinking about making a video about that myself, but coincidentally he just can't happen to upload his video about it, so I figured, no, why not make a response to it? So, yeah, this is going to be 10 metal albums where, in my opinion, the first track on the album is the best track. So it has to be, like, the first track, so there can't be, like an intro before it or anything. Like, it has to be the first track on the album. And he also said, and he also said in his video that he tried to go for opening tracks that weren't also the title track, because when I was first compiling my list, I thought about a bunch of opening tracks that were also the title track, but he kind of didn't. He kind of made it explicit that he wasn't going to go for those. So I kind of decided, why not do that too, make it a little bit more challenging. But yeah, anyways, without further ado, enough of my rambling. Let's just get right into the video. Right, so the first band on my list needs really no introduction. They are a classic metal band. They are one of the titans of just the good old classic heavy metal. So my first band is Merciful Fate, and in my opinion, on their second album, Don't Break the Oath, the opening track, which is A Dangerous Meeting, is the best song on that album. This might be a bit of a controversial opinion for some people, because I know a lot of people also really love Come to the Sabbath, the last track, but don't get me wrong, that's an awesome song too. And there's other songs on here that are absolutely killer, like Welcome Princess of Hell. Like, all the riffs are amazing. I used to be not really a fan of King Diamond's vocals. They really turned me off for a while, but I've gotten used to them. So yeah, I really like Merciful Fate and King Diamond's solo stuff now. But yeah, in my opinion, A Dangerous Meeting is the best song on the album. I don't know, that riff is just, it's earworm. It gets stuck in your brain. And I don't know, I just absolutely love that song, and I think it is the best song on the album. That's not to say the rest of the album isn't absolutely killer, because it is. But yeah, A Dangerous Meeting for me is the best song off of Don't Break the Oath. Alright, so next up we got a German band, they're kind of one of the big four. I've seen them kind of get lumped in with the big four of German power metal, even though I'd say during this era they were definitely kind of more of a heavy metal / speed metal type band. But anyways, my second choice is the band Rage and their debut album, Reign of Fear. And in my opinion, if I had to pick one track off of that album which is the best, for me it's pretty easy. It's Scared to Death, which is the first song on the album. That song's just got an awesome kind of build up to it. And it's just got absolutely gnarly riffs on it, and it's catchy as hell. Yeah, overall, I think Scared to Death is really just a great opening track, and in my opinion, it is the best song on the album. The rest of the album is really, really good too, don't get me wrong, but I don't know, Scared to Death I think is just kind of the best song on the album. Like I said, it's got great build-up. I just love all the riffs. I do like the vocals. They're a little kind of, I can see maybe why some people maybe wouldn't be crazy about them, but I don't know, I like the vocals. But yeah, that's my second choice, Rage with their album Reign of Fear and the opening track Scared to Death. Alright, let's get into some thrash now. So the third band on my list is Demolition Hammer, and I'm going with their 1990 debut album Tortured Existence. And in my opinion, the best song off of Tortured Existence is the opening track, 44 Caliber Brain Surgery. I think that song is honestly the perfect Demolition Hammer song, and that is what a perfect way to start an album, man. Just those flat out vicious riffs and the absolutely wretched vocals, the insane drumming. Obviously Demolition Hammer, you should know them, you know, they are just the most intense, insane, heavy fucking thrash metal band that ever existed. And man, 44 Caliber Brain Surgery, man, those riffs, they just hit hard, and oh my, yeah, no, I absolutely just love that song. It's just absolutely gnarly and heavy, and the rest of the, don't get me wrong, I love the rest of the album too. I love, what else, Neanderthal, and Hydrophobia, Toxic Hospital Waste. I love every track off of Tortured Existence, but man, 44 Caliber Brain Surgery, that's that's probably my second favorite Demolition Hammer song, second only to Pyroclastic Annihilation from Epidemic of Violence. But yeah, 44 Caliber Brain Surgery, Jesus Christ, that is just such a vicious song, and I love it. Alright, let's get into something a little kind of more slow. Let's get into something more kind of doomy, more kind of sludgy. So the next band on my list is Neurosis, and the album I've chosen is Enemy of the Sun, which came out in 1994. By the way, go watch my Neurosis discography ranking if you haven't. That was a lot of fun to do, because I absolutely adore this band, and I absolutely love this album, Enemy of the Sun. And in my opinion, the best track off of this album is the opening track, Lost. I love the bass tone on this entire album, but I love the way the bass sounds on this song in particular. I love all the kind of samples they use. It's very dense, and it's a very heavy song. It's just this very slow, lumbering, monolithic thing that just kind of drags on for a bit. And then when it gets heavy, like just boom, it gets fucking heavy, and the riffs come in, and it's just an amazing song in my opinion. And again, I love every other track off of Enemy of the Sun, but man, Lost is like one of my favorite Neurosis songs, always has been, and to me, I think it's the best song off of this album. Alright, so the next album on my list, I've seen a couple sources like the Metal Archive say this is a compilation as opposed to a full-length album, but I've also seen most other sources I've seen say it's a full-length album, so I'm just going to count it as a full-length album. Regardless, we're going to get into more kind of sludge metal, a bit different kind of sludge than Neurosis. The band I'm going to be talking about now is Grief, and it is their album Dismal. And Dismal, this is just like one of the heaviest, oh lord, it is just one of the heaviest, gnarliest, most disgusting, caustic albums I've ever listened to. And in my opinion, the best track on the album is the opening track, which is Rhinoceros, which is still my favorite Grief song to this day. Man, I just love that song. Again, the slow, lumbering, fucking heavy thing. Like the bass tone on this album alone could kill children and probably small adults too. Yeah, and then the guitars come in, it's just all this constant noise and feedback, and it's just absolutely wretched. The vocals, Jesus Christ, they are absolutely just tortured, and it just sounds like they're in severe pain. Man, I love the vocals, but yeah, this song, I also kind of like the very just kind of blunt lyrical delivery. It's literally just kind of written from the perspective of a rhinoceros that's being hunted by poachers. I don't know, I think that's kind of cool. But yeah, Dismal, I love this album. This is one of my all-time favorite albums, if it is an album, because again, I see a couple sources say it's a compilation, but other sources say it's a full length. Regardless, Rhinoceros is it's a perfect opening track, and I love every other track on this album, but man, Rhinoceros has always kind of stuck out to me as my favorite. So the next band on my list is a very underrated and very overlooked band in my opinion. They are they're from Italy. They're kind of a doom metal / power metal / heavy metal band. This album, though, I'd say that they were just kind of a flat-out epic doom band, very much in the vein of like Candlemass or Solitude Eternus. The band is Doomsword, and I'm talking about their album Let Battle Commence. And in my opinion, the best track on this album is the opening track, Heathen Assault. Now, like I said, this band I would ordinarily describe as kind of a fusion of like heavy metal, doom metal, and power metal. But really on this album, they kind of fully embraced like just a full-on epic doom sound, and this is definitely my favorite album by this band, and I absolutely love every single song on here. And for me, for me, the best song on this album is the opening track, Heathen Assault. I just love the riffs in that song. I like kind of the soft, kind of acoustic melody that kind of then transitions into the big heavy riffs, and the production of this album is just crushingly heavy. The guitars nice and crunchy, the drums are loud and punchy, and it's such a beautifully mixed album in my opinion. And yep, I love just the vocals on this album. I love the I just love this song, really. There's really not much else to say. I just absolutely love Heathen Assault. I think it's an amazing song. In my opinion, again, same thing as with all these other albums. The rest of the album is killer too, but Heathen Assault is just the perfect opener for an album, in my opinion. Alright, I got some more Doom on my list, but we're definitely going to be leaning more to the Death Doom realm of things here. My next band is the Finnish band Unholy, another underrated band in my opinion. Awesome, heavy as balls Death Doom band. And yeah, in my opinion, of their debut album From the Shadows, the best track is the opening track, Alone. Alone is just, man, it just immediately comes in with that goddamn guitar tone is so freaking heavy. And just that one riff, it's amazing. I just love it. And this is like just the heaviest, just Death Doom you've ever heard. Like, it is freaking, oh my god, it's so heavy. And I mean, again, the rest of the album I think is absolutely killer, but Alone, I don't know, I just love the riff. I love all I just love everything about that song. I love the vocals. And again, I feel like it's just a perfect way to start this album. It's beautiful, it's heavy as balls again, and a lot of this album is kind of also a bit more kind of avant-garde a little bit in points. It's a little bit experimental. I think this track is a bit less experimental, but still very, very good in my opinion. And again, it's just, if you take nothing else away from this video, just know that alone, just listen to Unholy, alright? Just listen to that band if you haven't heard them, because they're fucking, again, underrated in my opinion, and they are fucking heavy. Let's get away from doom metal for a minute, and we'll talk about some black metal here. So the next band on my list is Burzum, and the album is Philosophum. And in my opinion, if I had to pick a favorite track off of Philosophum, it is Dunkelheit, easily. Like, that is like it's like a black metal anthem, honestly. Like, if you were to make a list of like the top 10 greatest black metal songs and you don't include Dunkelheit, what are you doing with your life? But yeah, Dunkelheit, I just love the riff. I think that song is just a perfect example of atmospheric black metal. I think it perfectly captures the essence of that entire genre in just that one song. That one riff is one of the greatest riffs in all of metal. The rest of the album, again, is good, except for like the 20-minute, like, just ambient track. I don't like that track. But anyways, I mean, Jesus Todd, yeah, there's other great songs in here, but Dunkelheit is just always kind of stuck out as my favorite. Yeah. Alright, I got another black metal band here on my list, so we're going to Ukraine this time, and we'll be talking about Drut and their debut album, Forgotten Legends. So there are only 4 tracks on this album, if I remember correctly. 4 or 5? 4? I think it's 4. Yeah, there's only 4 tracks on this album, but in my opinion, the best song off of this album is the opening track, False Dawn, which is this big, like, 15-minute, almost like, opus of a song. Now, I don't ever really talk about this band. I've never talked about this band on this channel before, I don't think, but I really should, because I actually do really, really like this band. I like their style of atmospheric black metal quite a lot, almost like their kind of cool blend of, like, I guess like folk elements. I don't even really know if you can call it folk elements, but whatever you want to call it, it's really, really cool. And yeah, Forgotten Legends, I think this is still one of their best albums. Yeah, in my opinion, the best track is the 15-minute opening track, False Dawn. Again, it's like kind of this awesome opus of a song. I think it's absolutely just beautiful. All the riffs are amazing. And yeah. So yeah, that's my second to last choice, Drut, Forgotten Legends, and the opening track, False Dawn. Next up is another band I haven't really talked about much on this channel. Actually, I don't think I've talked about this band at all on this channel, come to think of it, but this album lately is becoming one of my favorite albums of all time. This album just grows on me more and more every time I listen to it. My final band is Conqueror, and I'm talking about their lone full-length album, War Cult Supremacy. And in my opinion, the best track on this album is the opening track, Infinite Majesty. So yeah, like I said, this album has been really, really growing on me lately. It's quickly becoming one of my all-time favorite albums. Obviously, this is a war metal band from my home province of British Columbia. These guys are from Victoria, which is the capital of British Columbia. And yeah, I absolutely love this album. Like, this is just one of the heaviest things I've ever heard, honestly. It's just fast and intense, chaotic as hell. It's just noisy, and it's just absolutely violent, does not give zero fucks. And again, other songs on here that I think are absolutely amazing, like Kingdom Against Kingdom, and again, every other track is awesome, but Infinite Majesty, I think, is just a great opening track. Again, it's got a really great build-up, and then it just transitions to this fucking absolutely gnarly, blast beaty, just vicious as hell song. And yeah, I think Infinite Majesty is the best song on this album. I feel like I should talk about war metal more on this channel, because I have been diving into a lot more war metal lately, and it's honestly becoming one of my favorite subgenres of metal. So yeah, if you guys would want to see me do a video like my top 10 war metal albums or something, leave a comment down below, because I definitely would be interested in doing that, maybe. And, well, that about does it. If you made it to the end of this video, you are awesome, and I appreciate you. This was a response to Merciful Metal, so go subscribe to his channel. I think he makes some pretty cool videos. Leave a comment down below if you agreed with my choices, or if you disagreed, let me know in the comments. Consider subscribing, as I do have a lot more content coming your way. Like I said, that about does it. I'm just another Heavy Metal Maniac. I'll see you all sometime in the future. In the meantime, all of you take care and have a great day. So long.